Sunday.
Good day for it.
Yeah. Turned out to be pretty good. Yeah.
Not too hot, not too cold.
Yeah, and once the sun came out, it was perfect. So
All right, we are up. I will send us in 3, 2, music.
bump, 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 bump. Bring. Welcome. It's a Tuesday edition. I had to tell myself to say the right day.
Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. I'm Marcus Grant, joined by Greg Bergman. And, welcome to post-Memorial Day. How was your weekend, I guess, first of all?
Weekend was good. I was at Disneyland all day yesterday, so that was fun. I won a really big underdog bet, so that was awesome. And it was just a good overall weekend. How was yours?
It was good. Kind of low key. Did a beach day on Sunday. Kind of was just around the house, sort of cooking and cleaning yesterday. But a good weekend overall. For the Dodgers, okay, I guess weekend. Since we last spoke to you all, they played 4 games. They split those 4 games, losing 2 of 3 in New York against the Mets, and then taking the first of a 3-game set against the Cleveland Guardians on Memorial Day. Before we dive into all of that, first, give a shout out to the folks at LAX, transforming the travel experience, saving guests time. People Mover Train, a big addition, hopefully coming early next year. For more information, you can go to flylax.com/transforminglax. Let's start with the games in New York over the weekend, Greg, because a rematch of the NLCS, and the Dodgers lose 2 of 3. To me, it felt like, obviously the pitching continues to sort of be an issue, but it just felt like this weekend against the Mets, Mets pitching really just did a number on the Dodger offense this weekend.
Yeah, it really was the Mets pitching, and I feel bad for Clayton Kershaw because he had to leave after 2 on Friday. That rain just didn't want to stop, and he was actually pitching pretty well. But overall, it feels like a weird weekend for the Mets series because they should have won few of those games. They could have won all 3 of them, but really I felt like even on Sunday, that was a game they should have won. Landon Knack actually pitched well. He should have been out of the inning before Alonso hit the home run, but Muncy bobbled the ball. Another error for Max Muncy at third that's starting to cause more and more issues that are like, if you keep giving extra outs, other teams are going to take advantage of those extra outs, and Muncy just keeps giving extra outs. But overall, I felt like it was a winnable series. I don't take a lot out of that besides the fact that they lost the series 2-1.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of it, right? They lose the series 2-1, as you mentioned. A chance to win probably all 3 of them. Friday night, an absolute marathon. It goes to the 13th inning before the Dodgers finally break through and get a 7-5 win in that one. I guess kind of the bigger story there, Tanner Scott right now he's on a struggle bus right now, Craig.
Every time he comes in right now, I'm like, which Tanner Scott are we going to get? He was really good for a while. He started off the year poor, then was really good for about a month, and then now is starting to go up and down, up and down. So I just don't know what Tanner Scott we're going to get right now. He either is lights out, shut down, or he gives up 3 runs. There's no in between.
That seems to be kind of what it is right now. And like a lot of the Dodger pitchers, struggling with the home run ball, gave up some long balls when we saw him on Friday night as well, just kind of all over the zone. Really, really rough day for him. But you mentioned Clayton Kershaw. I know we only saw him for 2 innings, but he looked really good in those 2 innings before the long rain delay forced him to shut it down for the day. I know there's not a lot to hold on to, Greg, just because it was 2 innings. But at least for me, I don't know about you, it was a chance to sort of hope a little bit more. It feels like, okay, the first start was obviously bad. It was obviously rocky, but maybe that second start against a good Mets lineup, maybe that's a glimpse of things getting better for Kershaw.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do hope so. I think he was hitting his spots, and that's what he has to do. If he's not hitting spots, he's done for. He doesn't have the velocity. His pitch mix is always going to be his pitch mix, but if he's going to try and beat you with 88-mile-an-hour fastballs, he has to be hitting his spots. So I thought he was actually doing a good job of all of that and was getting a little bit of swing and miss. He looked comfortable out there. And then the rain just kind of stopped them up. So if that's what's to come for Clayton Kershaw, then we have there's reason to be excited to have him back. It's always like fun to watch Kershaw Day, but at the same time, you kind of expect the worst right now, which sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I know our pal Jeff Spiegel sort of gets extra tense when Kershaw pitches because he wants him to do well more than, we all want him to do well, but I think Jeff on a different level wants to
rub it in everybody's faces like, ha, I stayed on the Kershaw train.
Well, Jeff is he's of the opinion that Kershaw is going to make starts during the postseason. I think we're all pretty skeptical of that. Is that fair?
Yeah, I again said it a million times, but something went horribly, horribly wrong if Clayton Kershaw is starting games in the postseason.
Yeah, for sure.
You have too many arms to have Kershaw with a bum arm throwing 88 miles an hour. I just don't see it.
I don't see that either, but obviously a long way to go between now and then. We'll see how the pitching staff shakes out. Over the weekend, just kind of a frustrating one for Dodger fans, seeing them lose 2 of 3 in games that they certainly had a chance in. Yesterday against Cleveland, they go to, I don't know what they call it, Progressive. Is it still Progressive Field? I have no idea what they call that place anymore.
I think so. Let's call it Progressive Field.
Yeah, we'll call it Progressive just because. The Dodgers get a 7-2 win. I know you were, at the Magic Kingdom all day yesterday, but I know you saw at least the final line for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He gives them 6 solid innings, just the 2 runs. He was on from the beginning. He struck out Stephen Kwan on 3 pitches to start the ball game. But you were saying before, he has the look of that stopper. I don't know if Yoshi Day is a thing just yet, but he certainly is putting together a resume that suggests he can be that guy when they need him to be.
They are at a point now that he is that guy. When they need somebody to be in the field, going on some kind of losing streak, Yoshi goes in and you feel good about that you're going to get a good outing and he's going to put a stop to that win streak. And also for him, I was really excited for him just because of the fact that he got that thing called, run support.
Yeah,
he never gets that, and he got 7 runs, so that must have felt really good for him. And I'm also noticing that, have you seen that Hae-Sung Kim is constantly at second base when he's pitching, so they can clap for him after every strike? he just needs that motivation after every strike.
Hey, we all need that, right? We all need that one person, even if everybody believes in us, you want that person that has that outward support. And,
right.
It's also part of the reason I'm sure that everybody in the clubhouse loves Hae-Sung Kim. He's been an immediate hit from the moment he landed in Los Angeles. Looking in the chat, Roy Estrada saying our immediate need is a third baseman and another outfield bat. Pitching will come around. I, as a Dodger fan, have had enough of Muncy at third base. This has been 2 years, not several months. Can't give teams extra outs. You made the point. The defense is not great over at third base. Is this whole thing exacerbated by the fact that Muncy is just not hitting the way we're used to? Like if he were, hitting even 240 and had, 8 or 10 home runs, would we kind of give him more of a pass on this?
If he was on pace for 35 home runs and he was right around 300 and he was on base percentage was his normal like 370, we'd be like, okay, we can live with that. But when you're not hitting and you're causing extra outs to the point of Roy Estrada and causing that, really, I blame the loss on Sunday on Max Muncy. If Max Muncy puts that ball away and gets it to first, the inning is over. There's no 2-run home run from Alonso. Who knows what Alonso does in the next inning? Maybe he doesn't hit a home run. He hadn't hit a home run in like 15 games. So that broke that streak from it. Muncy, the problem is that, yes, his hitting is just not there. Now, it's better than it was at the beginning of the year. You can see the signs of life. You can see that he is starting to get a couple of hits and having productive at-bats because of the glasses. But you just can't give up. He talked about it after the game, too. He's like, it was on me. My defense is just poor right now. I know I'm a good defender. I need to just go out there every day and keep doing it. But the worst, if he doesn't start having better defensive abilities and isn't hitting, he's going to go the way of Chris Taylor. He's going to go the way of Austin Barnes. I don't think they'll DFA him. I think they would just try and trade him.
Yeah, I can't imagine they would just let him walk.
No.
I mean, the bat is still too valuable. I think the potential of what it can be is still too valuable, and there are teams out there that would definitely be willing to take on a Max Muncy if the Dodgers were going to make him available. I mean, I see Jasmeet in the chat saying, "Is it Arenado time?" That's definitely a name that we have heard a lot of at this point in the season. The problem with Arenado right now, Greg, the Cardinals are above 500. They're competing in the NL Central. They're very much, competing for a playoff spot. I find it hard to believe they'd be willing to move on from Nolan Arenado as long as they continue to be in the race right now.
Well, the more he continues to hit, so his numbers are still not great either. You're not getting that much better. It is better, obviously, but you're not getting that much better offense from Nolan Arenado, and he hasn't been great for the last couple of years. I've been high on him, but you're getting amazing defense. So would they move on from him? I think they would. I think they know that team, they're above 500. It's still early in the year. I think they don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And if they do make the playoffs, you can, whatever you get for Arenado is probably going to be worth more than what Arenado is right now. Does that make sense?
No, it does. It does. I mean, that's going to be a name to keep an eye on. I know what Travis Rogers was suggesting, Alex Bregman, but that's more for next year, I think, and beyond.
No.
Could it be this year?
No. Why would you? Do you
want Alex Bregman? As in you don't want Alex Bregman? No, I wouldn't want Alex Bregman either. In fact, he did ask. Actually, John Ireland asked me the question last week because I know you and he were having a debate.
Yeah.
If the Dodgers were to land Bregman, he asked me how I thought you would handle it. Because I know you said you would not cheer for him under any circumstances.
Absolutely not.
Ireland said that the moment he hits a walk-off home run, that you would stand and applaud. And I split the difference. I said, yes, he would cheer for that moment, but then he would go back to being salty and disgruntled about Alex Bregman and everything Alex Bregman
is. See, you get me, Marcus. you just understand because there's three guys on that Astro team I would never want on this team: Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, and Alex Bregman. And Alex Bregman is probably the worst out of all of them. Like, he was the one that was just out there being like, yeah, who cares? And I'm not sorry about anything. We didn't do anything wrong. Screw that guy. I would never, ever want to root for him. Look, if he hits a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth inning in Game 7 of the World Series to win the game, yeah, I'm going to cheer. My team just won. I still hate the guy, but I'm going to cheer. It's not going to be like, okay, now you're amazing to me. I love you so much. Like, it's not a Freddie Freeman moment. I'd be happy that the Dodgers won. I'm happy for the Dodgers. I'm not happy for Bregman, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. What would be worse, Alex Bregman or just that short period when they had Manny Machado? Because I feel like he did not endear himself to the fan base at all.
Oh man, he's just a frustrating player. I think Bregman would be worth. Bregman stole a World Series from the Dodgers, like completely just ripped it out of our hearts. And so Machado was just a pain and just didn't try. And he's still that guy down there. Machado's always going to be Machado.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. Before we get into tonight's game 2 of the series, Dustin May on the mound, wanted to kind of dive into an article that Parker sent to us this morning.
Yeah.
Our pal Fabian Ardaya in The Athletic put together the Dodgers all-quarter century team, the best players in the franchise since the year 2000. And I scrolled through it, and the one that caught my eye, and even Fabian admitted that it's sort of cheating a little bit, Mookie Betts at second base.
That was my first thought. I'm like, Mookie at second?
Like, he barely played there. He was okay there. It honestly, and one day we'll get Fabian on, maybe ask him about this, or maybe we'll just hit him up on social media. Like, one, it felt like a way to get Mookie on this list. Yes. Also, what does that say about the state of second base for the Dodgers for the last 25 years?
Outside of Mookie's short stint at second base last year, who was the other good second baseman? Gavin Lux has been there for a long time. He has been kind of a mess. It's been a rotating cast for the. Yeah. We were like excited about Muncy at time at second base. It's been Chris Taylor and Ike. Muncy was like, oh look, he's playing a decent second base. Like, that was a thing a couple of years ago. So second base is just a complete mess. And if you're gonna cheat, he did play there. So sure.
I'm scrolling back and looking at some of the guys who played second base for the Dodgers. I mean, Logan Forsythe that I forgot was there. I mean, Chase Utley, but
you gotta love Utley though.
But it was like end of career Chase Utley. Like the Dodgers didn't get the best out of Utley. I mean, it just
he had amazing slide though. He had one big slide on this team. That's all.
He did. I mean, I'm like I'm seeing Howie Kendrick. I'm seeing D Gordon.
D Gordon is a mess.
Second base has been rough. Yeah, Reezy saying Alex Cora, Dodgers second base legend. I'm like, now that you go through this, the second base position for the Dodgers over the last 25 years has not been particularly great.
Didn't Mark Grudzielanek play second base for a little?
I think played there for a little bit.
He was there for a little while.
It's
not great, Bob.
Jeff Kent, I forgot that.
Jeff Kent. He's probably the best, but we also didn't get his best years either. We had years. What was it? It was a JD Drew. Didn't he play a little? Oh, he played first. Though.
No, he played some first base. He played the outfield.
Never second base.
Yeah.
Seems what about? Okay, they're saying Edman is the best second baseman the Dodgers have had. If he played second base more often, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't even been here a full year.
No.
Yeah.
And we're putting him as the top since 2000.
Yeah, it's rough. I'm just going through the rest of the list. I mean, shortstop Corey Seager, that's an easy call. Justin Turner at third base, easy.
Yeah. Everything else is pretty straightforward.
Everything else pretty straightforward. The outfield of Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier, and Cody Bellinger is solid. Although I'll say this, that's where there's a lot of depth. And Fabian mentions, I mean, could have put Sean Green on this list. Gary Sheffield could have been on the list. Yasiel Puig, who just burned out like a comet. I mean, when things were great, Puig was amazing.
Yeah.
It just kind of flamed out after a while.
I do want to ask you about something about the actual team right now, unless you want. There's more on this.
No, go ahead.
So we're starting to see that the pitchers are starting to go deeper into games. There's been multiple. There's been Yoshi went 7 one time. They've gotten a couple of guys who've gone 6 innings. If you include Landon Knack, he also went 5 in another outing. You're starting to see these guys going 5, 6, 7 innings now. And do you think that's because they're just allowing them to go deeper into games, or because of a necessity to stay away from the bullpen?
Yes. I mean, I think most of it is just trying to stay out of the bullpen. I mean, you've got arms that just have to start wearing down at some point. I mean, I joked in our chat that, Alex Vesia pitches with the same frequency that the Amazon truck shows up at my house, which is pretty much every day.
Yeah.
The fact that they used Tanner Scott in a 4-run ball game yesterday. They brought him in the 8th inning in a 4-run game. They ended up adding one more to make it a 5-run game, but that says that they I don't know. They're trying to manage this bullpen as best as possible. Bonda has pitched a lot. Casparis has pitched a lot. So I think some of this is just knowing they can't expect to get 5 innings out of their bullpen every single night. But I do think some of it is just the starters themselves taking it on their shoulders and understanding we've got to get better and we've got to go deeper into games. So I think it is kind of a group effort here that the front office and Dave Roberts understands that they need more length out of their starters. I think it's the starters understanding that they've got to provide a little bit more, and just a general desire to not wear out those bullpen arms. Because, I mean, we're not even to June 1st, and the Dodgers, I heard the other day on the radio that they are the only team whose starters are averaging fewer than 14 outs.
Yeah.
That's not even 5. It's not even 5 innings.
That's awful. They've
got to do something.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. They absolutely have to. And I think that's why they're kind of allowing these guys to go deeper into games. And they seem to get a little bit better as the games go on, too, because you realize either they'll give up like 4 runs in the first inning and then just calm down, or they have to go deep. I just like the fact that we're starting to see some 6s on the boards and 7s and 5s. Like, at least you're getting a little bit more out of them, because this bullpen is being used a ton. So, I mean, in the last 7 days, Tanner Scott has used 3 times, Lou Trevino 3 times, a couple of times for Bonda. In the last 15 days, it's Anthony Bonda's 15 days. So that's including any time off. 6 times Anthony Bondo's pitched. Luis Garcia 6 times. Tanner Scott 5 times. And Garcia and Scott, obviously, as we talked about, been a mess. So they're being used over and over and over again. And that's actually probably low for what it was from earlier in the year. They're usually not pitching more than that. So, yeah, I just like the fact that we're starting to see them go deeper. Maybe it's a little bit more trust. Maybe it's a little bit out of necessity. Whatever it is, they got to start going deeper, especially when you see a guy like Tarek Skubal go nuts yesterday and go complete game shutout. Like, that's going to be something that people need to start doing more of.
I mean, remember last year Gavin Stone threw that complete game and we lost our minds.
Oh my God.
It feels like it's gonna be the last time we see that for a while, the way things are going. Yeah. But tonight, it is Dustin May going against Tanner Bybee. The last time we saw Dustin May, another outstanding outing for him. He goes 6 innings against the Diamondbacks, gives up just 1 run on a solo home run, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, and it feels, Greg, like he's starting to find a rhythm as well. His first start was amazing. He did have a little bit of a hiccup after a couple of starts, but it seems like he's kind of getting back into a groove again, and that it's a good thing to see. Again, if he's another guy who can give them 6 innings, that's everything they need.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at his game logs right now. He hasn't pitched less than 5 innings this entire season, so he's consistently going 5 or into the 6th. So that's, at least you have somebody that can go deep into games, and they're letting him do that. He's a little bit up and down. He was really good he was bad against Atlanta, good against Arizona, bad against the Angels, good against Arizona. So hopefully this is another one that he kind of is better against. That's actually how it's been all year long. It's been 1 run, 3 runs, 1 run, 7 runs, 3 runs, 4 runs, 2 runs, 4 runs, 1 run. Like, it's up, down, up, down, up, down every single game. So if the pattern continues, it's a bad outing tonight. But if he can just stay consistent what he was doing against Arizona and get that swing and miss that he was getting and start trying to work on that, I think you're going to start seeing a much, much better Dustin May. I have high hopes for Dustin May, Marcus. I think he is going to be somebody that we really rely on this entire year, because his stuff is just so nasty that if he can just kind of contain it and start going back-to-back starts, he's really going to do well.
I agree. I completely agree. And I think this is a good opportunity for him against a Guardians team that does not hit particularly well. 7th lowest batting average in all of Major League Baseball. You kind of middle of the pack when it comes to home runs. So this is not a team that's going to put up a ton of runs on you unless you just have a really, really bad day. On the flip side, Tanner Bybee coming off an excellent start. Went 7 innings against the Tigers last week. 7 shutout innings, just 3 hits, 8 strikeouts, and 1 walk. So the Dodgers going to have to kind of get things going. Although I said this yesterday, Greg, Shohei is doing that thing again now where you have to turn it on right at the beginning because was it Sunday against the Mets? He homered on the 2nd pitch of the game. Yesterday against the Guardians, he homered on the 1st pitch of the game. So Shohei is... I'll say this. He can't do it any earlier than the 1st pitch of the game. I'm going to go out on a limb.
Yeah, no, he cannot do it that early. So get there early. Don't be late to any games anymore. But yeah, if one person's fault or not fault that any of this is, losing being 500, it's not Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is not the issue in any sense of the word. He has been nothing short of amazing. So yeah, I just really nice to see a guy like Shohei consistently be who he is. And now he's throwing. He threw to live hitters. He threw to Ha-Seong Kim. He threw to, I forgot who, the other, one of the pitching coaches or one of the coaches, and then somebody hitting coaches maybe. So hey, it's coming around. It's another guy that could be back soon.
Yeah, I would say this because, like, as somebody who does, a lot of football stuff, there's nothing like slow motion video of like a football player in short that gets people fired up. Same thing with a slow motion video of Shohei on the mound, throwing fastballs or whatever. Like, that was enough to kind of get the blood flowing a little bit this weekend. So look forward to that. Probably not until after the All-Star break, but the show is coming to the mound sooner than later.
Yes.
In the meantime, tonight, game 2 of the 3-game series between the Dodgers and the Guardians. That is a 3:10 first pitch scheduled. Dustin May going against Tanner Bybee. Dodgers trying to get back-to-back wins and maybe get some breathing room in the division. 2 games up on both the Padres and the Giants coming into the ball game. I am sure coming up after we are done on the ESPN LA YouTube channel, Travis and DeMarco will have their thoughts on the Dodgers over the weekend, maybe some NBA playoffs as well, things heating up both the Eastern and Western Conference, and plenty of other things. Is it a Reaction Tuesday? I mean, I know we've missed Monday, so I guess Reaction Tuesday today?
Yeah, let's go with Reaction Tuesday.
All right, sounds good. We'll make that a thing.
It's a lit Tuesday.
It's a lit Tuesday, so be sure to check that out as well. Thanks to everybody in the chat for hanging out and participating. We always appreciate you. Thanks to LAX as well. Back with you tomorrow, 8:30 to 8:55 on the Blue Review. For Greg, I am Marcus. Think Blue, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you.